yeah, fresh, 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 yeah, fresh, 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 yeah, fresh, fresh, fresh podcast, yeah.
Hello guys, welcome back to Fresh Podcast. My name is Rodrigo. This might be one of our last podcasts since everyone is leaving because of the coronavirus. So this podcast today is about the coronavirus. I'm here with Aaryan and with Aaryan.
Yes. Well, hello everyone. I'm sorry that we have to talk about such grim subjects. Normally in Fresh Podcasts, we're known to be a bit more gentle and funnier at times, but since we feel it's very useful to talk about issues like this at the point, because everyone is affected by it. It's not really anything that we can control. So we find it very important to address this. And so with us today we have one of our fellow colleagues and students, Alessia.
Hello guys, it's very nice to meet you and to be here and talk about the situation, especially in Italy, I think, right?
So Alessia, you're from Italy, right?
Yes.
From which part in Italy?
From the north, in the city is named Genova.
Genova, okay. So the idea was for us to ask you some questions regarding this problem in Italy, in Genoa. So since you're from Genoa, of course. First question, Aaryan.
Well, first of all, this is maybe a bit of a personal question, but how are your parents and your family coping in Genoa at the time? Because of course Italy's been fully quarantined more or less, especially the north. So just get some thoughts about that.
Yeah, of course. Well, my parents actually they're not working, so everyone in Italy is not working. There are just few jobs that are still on, which are the jobs concerning foods, like for example supermarkets and pharmacies are still open, but the rest is all closed. So yeah, my parents are staying at home, as you said, and it's a very difficult situation since everyone is at home and the Italian economy is not working. It's not going on.
I see. And I think I know why it happened in Italy, but maybe the people who listen to us don't know exactly like why it became such a huge thing in Italy. As far as to be like the second or first country in terms of coronavirus cases outside of China.
Outside of China, it's the biggest amount of cases in the world. It's
not in the world. I think
no, in
Iran.
No,
in the world. Italy
Italy
first.
took away.
Okay.
Italy took the lead, I guess. And I mean, it's not a positive thing to
That's
take
not
the lead
the
in,
best thing to say about it. Yeah. So can you explain a little bit why this happened?
Well, I think everyone has their own opinion, but I think it's a little bit the fault is a little bit on the government, since they didn't apply the rules that other countries applied. For example, quarantine. They didn't they just stopped the flights from China, but they didn't check fever from the passengers, and they didn't put the people from China in quarantine, to just let them in, because in Italy now there's this government which is very anti-racist. So they basically thought that putting people inside an airport for 2 weeks, they thought it was kind of racist act, and so they decided not to do it. But I think it was racist to let possible infected people inside Italy and spreading the virus inside Italy. So that's my opinion, and other people have other opinions, but I think this is one of the major problems.
Where I'm from in Germany, we have the same problem, especially with our government, because we were initially supposed to close our borders off to countries like China and Italy, who are more affected by, and Iran as well. But the government said it's going to be a very racist move to do so, and that it's not part of their identity, it's not part of Europe. But in my opinion, first of all, the safety of the people matters a lot more than being racist once or twice. And even though I think countries like China and Iran would understand why you wouldn't let their citizens in, especially because it's a global pandemic, as the WHO has just declared. Yeah, it's just my 2 cents on that.
But do you think that even is considered racist? I think it's not racist. It's more like a logical thing to do.
Of course.
I don't think it's related to racism. It's not a
But
race
the thing
thing.
is, though,
Yeah.
we were discriminating on letting in people on the basis of their race and where they're from.
So yeah, it is a bit racist, of course.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, I don't know if in Italy it happens, but at least in Argentina it happens a lot that Chinese people get harassed in the streets, like locals, like people in Argentina, they went, for instance, have an example. Like they went to a Chinese store because in Argentina there's, I don't know why, there's a lot of Chinese people, and there are many Chinese stores, and people go there and like start insulting the people, start like coughing on these Chinese people who are I don't know even ill. I think they just like working, and they get insulted, they get harassed. I don't know if that happens in Italy or not.
Yeah, it happened.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah.
And so how is the people like coping with this problem in Italy right now? What is like, for instance, I'm sure you have some friends in Italy. How are they coping with this thing?
Well, they're actually like terrified because I think one of the major problems of this virus is that we don't know what will happen tomorrow. We don't know what will happen in 1 week and 1 month. So this is like this insecurity that we have in the future. It's one of the main, I think, problem because maybe tomorrow we will find the antidote to cure this virus, but if we don't find it, then we don't know what will happen. And so people are very afraid that maybe it will happen 2 months, maybe it will happen 3 months, maybe all summer. And if the economy won't start soon, then it will be like a major problem for Italy.
Well, it's more of a world issue, especially regarding the economy. Like, look at America. They've been doing amazingly in the economy for the last 4 years, yet this time Dow and S&P finished in the minus for the first time. Same with FTSE in the UK. Like, it's very unprecedented.
Yeah, and talking about that, I don't know if you saw the graph I sent you. Like
it's worse than the 2008 financial crisis.
It's gonna become like worse than the 2001 economic crisis. 8, so like the subprime thing, and that was pretty bad. Like everyone thought that was gonna be the end of the world. So I think that now, like from an economic point of view, is being very bad.
But the problem is, though, that people like Warren Buffett and people like Vanderchuck are all arguing the case that it's not going to be that bad, mainly because of the fact that we hope, at least I pray to God, that this virus is done in the summer months, because I hope it's kind of like the seasonal flu, especially, where in the summer you see a very sharp decline in the amount of people who are infected by the virus. It's just my 2 cents. And so if they think like that, they say it's going to rebound very quickly because in the summer months, obviously more people are going to get cured and the economy just restarts again. And I mean, we look at China, for example. They recovered everything in about 3 months' time. They're pretty stable now as a country, and Wuhan especially is also not experiencing as many increases anymore. Their containment has worked very well, so I think we should replicate that.
I think the problem is that people are very scared right now. I don't know if you saw in the United States, like I saw a video today.
Panic buying?
Yeah, like people are buying stuff. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
like
we
that in
had
Italy.
the same in Germany as well.
Toilet paper is becoming very rare. So if you have toilet paper,
I'm a toilet paper
Pasta.
dealer
you
now.
can sell it
worth.
for very, very high prices probably. Like if you get some toilet paper, you can invest on toilet
I
paper.
did that, man. I invested in a year's worth of toilet paper at the beginning of the year. I'm balling now.
So
I've
now
got so much money.
You can sell your toilet paper for £50 each. Yeah, so I don't know if you saw, like in America, like people are crazy. Like
Yes.
they're buying sand. I don't know why they're buying sand, because they think that sand might keep the virus out. Like they're making like
What is this, like,
they're
voodoo ritual?
They're constructing like, I don't know, like forts, like medieval style, forts in their house. Like it's crazy over there. And I don't know if it's like that in Italy as well. Like people are going crazy.
Oh yes, they're going crazy. Like they're buying a lot of pasta. Like pasta,
yes,
you
yeah.
can't find pasta anymore in supermarkets.
In the UK, they're rationing food now, so you can't have more than I guess packets of pasta anymore per person, which is like, I mean, you wouldn't think of a country like the UK having limits on how much pasta you can buy. It's not a communist country.
And actually, in Italy, I saw like some viral videos going there, like on internet, from people like playing music in the streets.
It's
Like,
symbolic.
It's like a party outside. Why is that? Why do you have an explanation for that?
Well, because everyone is in quarantine.
Yeah.
So that's why, because we're missing, the fun of going out, and we found this nationalist sentiment that we have inside, and we're spreading it. And I'm really proud of being Italian at this moment. And yeah, these are the things that make me proud.
Yeah,
Of course,
I would
100%.
feel part as well.
In Italy, I mean, this whole dolce vita thing has been taken away from them because of quarantine. The whole idea of having the life being amazing and life being chill is all being put into question now. The Italian lifestyle has been ruined by this virus, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know if you saw like all sports are cancelled, and
shit,
everything's
yeah.
cancelled. So like basically what happened
I'm
on
watching
Twitter,
bowling and chess now to get my
what
dose
happened on
of
Twitter,
sports.
like there was two clubs like mentioning each other, and like,
Southampton and Man City.
yeah, basically like they
They
were
play
playing
tic-tac-toe.
tic-tac-toe like on with like their logos. Instead of playing football, like everyone is like trying to find some kind of fun, like you said in Italy, like those
Yeah.
parties outside. Yeah, and basically
In
everyone's trying.
India, where I come from, they're now doing like prayers, saying "Corona, run away! Corona, run away!" Just to say the same happened in Morocco. I got sent a video by one of my Moroccan friends about that as well. That they're just singing and like playing the drums, asking Corona to fuck off.
And even like ISIS, like the Daesh, like they sent a post. They posted something like saying like they said like no, don't go to like infected countries. Even those people are like concerned about that,
Oh damn!
So yeah, it's pretty like
Pretty
worldwide
universal,
right now.
yeah.
Pretty universal. Like everyone's concerned right now, and I think they're right. And I think the best way to like stop the virus would be like everyone stay in their houses, like, and treat the people who are ill.
This is a
for-
monologue.
So
This is a monologue
to
time.
stop the spread, yeah.
It's up to us as the younger generation to make sure that we don't get the old infected. It's not about us getting infected, getting sick. It's about us passing off this to the older generation and to the vulnerable who don't have access to healthcare or have underlying medical issues or are very old and their immune system can't handle it. It's up to us to stop them from dying. The Zoomers are being put in charge of the Boomers.
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that.
Yeah.
That part is gonna appear. What was I gonna say? Okay. So I saw that many airports were being closed. Is that the case as well for Italy?
Yeah, of course. For example, I'm going back to my city tomorrow, and I'm going back to my city tomorrow. And since all airports in Italy are closed, I need to go before in France and then take a train to my city. And yeah, this is a little bit problematic and also a little bit scaring for me because it's all new and I don't know how it'll be.
I mean, initially, Rodrigo and I were supposed to take a trip to New York for our school. And the problem is that, you know how Donald Trump acted and said now that the UK is also not allowed in the US. So, yeah, we're demanding a refund for that, of course.
Yeah, basically we had like a project for university where it's like a simulation of the United Nations. Maybe some of you guys know. And yeah, it was like the biggest thing for us, at least this year. One of the biggest things, maybe.
One of the bigger events.
Yeah.
5,000 people were meant to attend, and it's the biggest MUN conference
Yeah,
in
but
the world.
like this whole coronavirus thing, like it all messed up all our projects.
As I like to say, it threw a wrench into the works of life.
Yeah, that's a very nice way to say it.
It did.
That's a very nice way to say it.
Everyone is affected by this. It's frankly kind of scary how everyone is going to
And
be
it also
affected by
happened very fast, like
as well as world leaders are
yeah,
even getting infected. It's crazy.
like maybe like Tuesday, this Tuesday, like this week, we were like all joking about it, like it's nothing, it's not gonna like affect us in a very big way. But now like everyone left from one day to another. Everyone left. Everyone is leaving.
From our university.
Alessia is leaving. Aaryan is leaving. I'm leaving as well. Like everyone's leaving.
Yeah.
From our project, from like the podcast, 2 members have already left. I think. Yeah, 2 members have already left. Simon left to Germany. I think Hannah probably left to Spain. Everyone is leaving, and yeah, it's pretty crazy, I would say.
And Louis is leaving tomorrow as well.
Louis is leaving, and Moni, my guy Moni is the only one who is staying here until the end because he had some problems with the tickets.
Moni or Rodrigo?
I hope not me. Basically, what's happening right now is I gotta go back to Brazil, and Brazil has a tendency to copy everything the United States do.
My guy Jair Bolsonaro was
the
seeming
United
to be
States
infected as
today
well.
closed the borders to the UK. So probably like the Brazil's gonna like close to the borders with UK as well, and that's gonna be very nice. It's gonna be very very nice, very nice.
I mean, that's very scary for you, especially as well.
I don't mind saying the UK personally, but
No, but how are you gonna get food? That's the question. When you're in a situation like it will be in Italy,
I think
we don't know
I just went to M&S.
Okay, look. No, you may have just gone to M&S, but we're not at the peak yet. The peak hits in 12 days, or now 10 days.
What's gonna happen? Like
Peak is it's gonna be Italy.
yeah. What's gonna
It's
happen?
gonna be like Italy. Everything's gonna be closed. First of all, you're only gonna be allowed outside to get food. Like you're not allowed to go anywhere else. And like the way Boris Johnson's handling things, I'm sorry to get political here, but it's telling the population to just wash their hands. Yes, it's important, but that's not reassuring that you're doing anything. It's ridiculous in terms of leadership, and it's gonna end up in a worse situation than Italy, because London, for example, is a metropolis. I mean, yeah, what are you gonna do about that?
And on that note about like things being scarce, is that happening in Italy? Like, are things, as you said, like pasta, but apart from like those basic things, everything else is working, right? Like,
Like
for instance,
supermarkets.
like for I don't know, like meat, cheese, milk, those kinds of things. Are they being easy to buy, or is that being hard to get?
No, I think. Well, actually, I'm still here. I'm still here in the UK, so I didn't really ask my friends, but I think just pasta and maybe amuchina and those kind of hygiene things. But all the rest, I think, should be fine for now. And we're not in that bad situation. And just now, people are starting to behave better because before they thought, like maybe 2 weeks ago they kind of thought it was kind of a joke, maybe not that important, not that dangerous. But then when we actually saw that there weren't enough spaces in the hospitals, then people started to realize the problem.
Yeah, and it is a very big problem. Just had to like get it out. And I know many people are like people, especially from my country, and I know
Argentina or Brazil or
Argentina and Brazil. I know many people from there are listening. So guys, it's very big. Don't take it lightly, because I see a lot of people taking it lightly. A lot of people are taking it lightly, especially from Argentina, because it's very far. It's still far, but it's not as far as you think, and it may come very fast if you don't take care.
who in Europe honestly thought that this virus was gonna affect them? No one.
No one thought that.
I didn't expect that.
Everyone
I'm sure
thought
Alessia
it,
didn't
like-
expect it. I'm sure you didn't expect
No,
it.
I wasn't expecting it. for
We
sure.
all expected this to be a Chinese thing, and then it'll be over very soon. But then, as soon as it started spreading, now we're getting scared about it. We don't take things lightly. As every doctor, every person says, be prepared for this. There's no excuse now. It's up to you, Argentina. I'm looking at you.
So yeah, guys, like just take care, wash your hands, stay away from people who are ill. If you're ill yourself, isolate, stay in your house. If you're young, if you're healthy, you're gonna be okay. If you're old, go to the nearest hospital and try to take care. I don't know who is old and is into this, but take care.
Yeah, I mean, you younger generations, pass Fresh podcast onto your older
Your parents,
generations, yes.
your grandparents, if they speak English.
Raise awareness about the coronavirus. It's not a joke. Don't take it lightly. Like, Alessia, do you have any final remarks regarding the coronavirus situation, and any messages that you'd like to give out to the public?
Yeah.
Yes. If coronavirus will like reach where you live, just try to follow the rules that the government will tell you, and just not take this as a joke, because it isn't.
Any shout outs you want to give? Any messages? I don't know. Maybe you can say it in Italian if you want. Any like message to your friends or something. I don't know. Anyone that will be listening to this thing?
Ciao, se c'è qualche italiano che sta ascoltando, vi voglio solo dire che vi voglio bene, Forza Italia, e torneremo più forti che sempre.
You got any Spanish messages, Rodrigo?
I don't have any, but cheers, guys.
Corta.
Escuchen el último tema de Internet Trash Gang, el Limonada, está muy bueno.
Oh, shit.
Escúchenlo, por
Oh, whatever.
favor.
He just plugged it. He just plugged the song. Bro, you're abusing
Denme plata,
Fresh Podcast, mate.
and yes.
Limonada?
Yeah, Limonada. It's a very
It's a good song. Yeah, I'll give it that.
Well, and yeah, guys, as always, our social media in the description. It's a very bad thing to shout out.
We're not promoting shit here, okay?
We're not promoting anything today. That was a joke before, guys. Just take care.
Share this video with as many people as possible. Just get
Share
this
the message.
Get this out here.
Yeah, and be careful, guys. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in.
We love you all.
And yeah, guys. Well, bye, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Just to take it back what I said before. Gente, cuídense que no es una joda el coronavirus, es en serio y tengan cuidado si están enfermos, quédense en su casa y nada de eso. Chao, cuídense.
Bye, guys.
Bye, thank you.
Auf Wiedersehen.